Let's look at techniques to help students to learn about adding fractions with common denominators. We're using free online visual tools from Conceptuamath. In this case, we're using the addition of fractions with common denominators tool. I'm going to demonstrate how to use this effectively in a 5 to 15 minute group discussion. Let's see how I've got this set up. I've started with the vertical fraction bars. That's my choice. They render well in this environment. I've chosen not to show numbers at all, and I've got an addition problem visually already in place. So here's how I'd begin. I'd have the students discuss what they're looking at with the goal of stating verbally a phrase that describes the addition problem. So I'd introduce to them and say, look, I've got 2 fraction bars. I've divided each of them into 8 equal parts. I think that's fair to do so they don't have to count from their seat. Work with your partner to come up with a phrase that describes what the addition problem is. Is it 1/6 plus 2/6? Is it 5/10 plus 3/10? Come up with a phrase that describes this problem. Now they'll be able to do so if we've done prior work with the identifying fractions tools so they know how our tool set works. So the number of shaded parts is what we're looking at as the numerator. So working in groups, working in pairs, I'm hoping the students are going to come out with the expression 2/8 plus 3/8. That's all I'm looking for. If they come up with a different expression, I'll have them explain their thinking and help them to be led to construct the knowledge that this is in fact 2/8 plus 3/8. It's at that point, once they've articulated the problem, that we can start to use these visual tools to actually do the addition, the 2/8 plus 3/8, and see it visually. So now that the students have seen what it's like to place 2/8 plus 3/8 together, I'm going to ask them to come up with a whole number sentence. And again, to work with their partner and their group so that they'll come up with 2/8 plus 3/8 equals 5/8. Now note, in our software, the student doesn't just take this visual and throw it over into the answer area. That's important, because if they did so, they wouldn't be constructing their own knowledge. What I want now is for someone to come up to the front and actually construct the answer. So they're going to make the eighths, and they're going to go ahead and shade in 5 of those eighths. It's at that point where they can choose the check work function and see very clearly, yes, that the 2/8 and 3/8 are well represented. So the student constructs the knowledge, the students build those neural pathways, and it's at that point, once they get the visual picture that this makes sense, that they can look at the numbers and see, yes, 2/8 plus 3/8 equals 5/8. That would be an example of a 5 to 15 minute group discussion on adding fractions with common denominators.